What is freedom? This is the last question, thank God. What is freedom? You know, many philosophers have written, talked about freedom. We talk about freedom. Freedom to live where we like. Freedom to have any job we like. Freedom to choose a woman or a man. Freedom to read any literature. Or freedom not to read at all. We are free. And so what do we do with that freedom? We use that freedom to express ourselves, to do what we like. Right? Whatever we like. More and more it's becoming permissive. You can have sex in the open garden, right? We have every kind of freedom. And what have we done with that freedom? We think choice, where there is choice, we have freedom. I can go to Italy, to France, or choice. Only I have to have a passport and a visa. And does choice give freedom? Please follow me. Why do we have to choose? If you are very clear, purely perceived, clear, there is no choice. Out of that comes right action. It's only when there is doubt, uncertainty, you begin to choose. So choice, if you'll forgive me by saying so, choice prevents freedom. And the totalitarian states have no freedom at all. Because they have the idea that freedom brings about degeneration of man. Therefore control, suppress. You follow, you know what's happening, all the rest of it. So what is freedom? Is it based on choice? Is it to do exactly what we like? Some of the psychologists are saying, if you feel something, do it immediately. Don't suppress it, don't restrain it, don't control it, don't express. And we are doing that very well too. And it's called also freedom. Throwing bombs is also freedom. Right? Just look what we have reduced our freedom to. So what is freedom? Does freedom lie out there or here? I'm just asking, I'm not saying it. Where do you begin to search for freedom? In the outward world? Which is to express and do act whatever you like, the so-called individual freedom. Or does freedom begin inwardly, which then expresses itself intelligently outwardly? You understand my question? That is, freedom must begin when there is no, freedom exists only when there is no confusion. Right? Confusion inside me. When I'm seeking, perhaps psychologically, religiously, not to be caught in any trap. You understand? There are innumerable traps. Gurus, saviors, preachers, the excellent books, psychologists and psychiatrists, they're all there. And if I'm confused and there is disorder, mustn't I first be free of that disorder before I talk of freedom? If I have no relationship with my wife or with my husband, with my person, other, because we haven't got relationship with another. Our relationship is based on images. You have an image about me and I have an image about you. And so the conflict, which is inevitable where there is a division. That's us. So, shouldn't I begin here, inside me, in my skin, in my mind, in my heart, to be totally free of all the fears and anxieties, despairs, hurts and wounds that one has received through some psychic disorder. You follow all that, to watch it for oneself and be free of it. But apparently, we haven't got the energy. We go to another to give us energy. The psychiatrist gives us, by talking to him, you feel much more relieved. You follow? Confession and all the rest of it. Always depending on somebody else. And so that dependence inevitably brings great conflict, disorder. So one has to begin to understand the depth and the greatness of freedom. One must begin quite near. And the nearest is you. As long as there is you and me, there is no freedom. As long as you have your prejudice and my prejudice, your experience, my, etc., etc., so on, so on, there is no freedom. We can express, we can criticize each other, we can do all that. That's what's called freedom. The right to think what you like. But the freedom, the greatness of freedom and the enormity, the dignity, the beauty of it is when in oneself and there is completely order. And that order comes only when we are light to ourselves. Right, sir?